United States court appeals for the D.C. Circuit reject TikTok request to review the law, after both sides asked for a ruling by December 6, before the nationwide ban schedule start date on January 19. TikTok and the app's creator sought the federal government in an effort to stop the ban, which forces TikTok to divest from China's parent company ByteDance or be kicked out of U.S. app stores. TikTok argued that the ban violated the company's First Amendment rights and that divergence from ByteDance is not technologically, commercially, or legally possible, while the government maintained that the ban was essential to national security, although specific evidence to justify is under secrecy and was not published. The court ruled that the federal government did not violate TikTok's First Amendment right because the law does not target any specific speech on TikTok. Nothing that if TikTok simplified debate by dance, the new owner could circulate the same combination of content than before without violating the law, and ultimately ruled that the federal government goals banning TikTok is to end culture by foreign adversaries, not censorship of content. Donald Trump won his second stage on the Oval Office to be very different from his first when it comes to Silicon Valley. Beyond his close relationship with Elon Musk, the Republican wants to live beyond the constant disagreement with the technological empires that marked his first 4 years as president. He has extended his hand to them, and they have taken it, a strategy in which they must overcome two large stones in the path that Joe Biden has left him. There's a true potentially historic decision that the Trump administration will have to navigate, and that could affect the business and American digital multinationals around the world. The first is the law that forced ByteDance, the Chinese parent company of TikTok, to sell its U.S. subsidiary no not Chinese company before January 19, 2025. If it does not do so, the social network will be banned in the country. The second is the Department of Justice request to break up Google after its monopoly conviction. The curious thing about both cases is that Trump has great weight in their origins, despite the fact that the new post them had owned, as was the who began the hunt for TikTok during his first term for his alleged links with Chinese intelligence, and who forced the social network to sign an agreement with Oracle to store its data in the US. Biden took advantage of that momentum to continue exciting the defense. In April, managed to pass a law that gave ByteDance 216 days to sell TikTok to the US. A good part of the Republican representative support is despite the fact that Trump was already positioning himself against the measure. Something very similar happened in the case of Google. It was the Trump administration that launched the monopoly lawsuit against Google in the online search sector, which ended with the conviction this past summer. Now, the Biden administration's Justice Department has asked judges to force Google to sell its Chrome browser to reduce its availability to control this market, as well as potentially Android, an option that Trump also opposed. In the suit, TikTok argued that the law violated Americans' First Amendment protection as published back against, claiming the app manipulated its algorithm on behalf of Beijing and aggressively collected users' personal data. However, the Apple's court set this argument aside, finding that the law was constitutionally justified on the grounds of preventing a foreign adversary from undermining free speech and collecting information on U.S. residents. Immediately following the ruling, TikTok indicated that it will appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, raising the possibility of a reversal if the decision of the Apple's court is upheld. TikTok will be forced to cease its operation within the United States, as the company has previously indicated that effort sales to American owners will be blocked by the Chinese government. The law that could be the ban on TikTok on the U.S. as national security motivation. The rule seeks to prevent Americans' data and the ability of the application to influence its citizens from beyond and the power of an adversary foreign nation. It says, referring to China. The U.S. government has never provided evidences of the extremes. However, the ability of the Chinese social network to manipulate public opinion and democratic processes has seen one of its greatest milestones recently in Romania, where justice has honored the first run of the election after accusations of interference through TikTok. ByteDance and TikTok uses applied the law to the court of Apple suit, which last Friday reached the Apple and dealt a fatal blow to the social network. If ByteDance does not sell before January 19, the application will no longer be available in the application store and its 160 million users on the country. As well, the thousands of the content creators who generate income through the app will not be able to access it. Immediately following the ruling, TikTok indicated what is will appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, raising the possibility of a reversal if the decision of the appeals court is upheld. TikTok will be forced to cease its operation within the United States, as the company has previously indicated that a forced sale to American owners will be blocked by the government Chinese. ByteDance already started before the resolution that a sale process of TikTok USA under the terms established by the law will be commercially and technologically impossible, with less than 6 weeks after its total blockade in the country. The company has now asked the magistrate to paralyze the case so that the Supreme Court can review it, a revelation that may be crucial for the future of the social network, since January 19 is just 1 day before Trump's inauguration. I will stop TikTok, the Republicans promised during the election campaign, alleged that a ban on U.S. could prevent competition with Facebook, whom they call it the enemy of the people. TikTok has openly argued that stalling the law will give the incoming administration a chance to intervene. It could dismiss both the imminent harms and the need for Supreme Court review, he said. Although the law that puts TikTok in the U.S. between sale or ban has already been ratified by the U.S. Congress and the Court of Appeals, the situation with Google is different. The multinational was convicted of maintaining an illegal monopoly on online searches this past summer, and now the courts have to decide how to break that situation. The Biden administration has asked to be forced to sell Chrome and partially Android, but that request has yet to be endorsed by judge, and in addition, the multinational has appealed. In case it's forwarded from saying it and that of TikTok, and Trump has also positioned himself against supporting Google into several companies. He claims that it will go against the interests of the country. If you do that, are you going to destroy the company? What you can do without breaking it up to make sure that its position in the market is further, he said in October. His future vice presidents, on the other hand, argued in the completely opposite direction at the beginning of the year. I think Google should break up. I think it's too big, too powerful. We will see how things are in 2025, cites J.D. Vance. A Justice Department led by Trump could withdraw the Trump position or make it easier for Google to continue operating as before despite an unfavorable court ruling. If the court approved the current Trump's petition, it could be the first time a corporation has been forced to separate since 1982, when AT&T has to spin off its local telephone subsidiaries to allow greater competition in the sector. Google, for its part, has criticized the bank's administration action, arguing that it could harm American consumers, small business, and technological innovation. According to the multinational, measures such as forced sale of Chrome and Android and the sharing of sensitive data will affect the privacy, security, and the quality of these products, while enduring leadership and artificial intelligence. With this case, Trump will not only manage his country's reaction to the foreign interference of TikTok or the Google monopoly, but it could open the door for third countries to emulate his tip if the apples are heavy and with technology. American social networks are banned in Russia and China, but blocs like the EU have been increasingly strict on competition issues or when Europeans send data to the US. Trump's legacy in technology is not just history, it is warning of law of how political power can shape the digital economy, but it does not end here. If Trump was able to challenge big tech, that will we do with the big banks? Here preparing another battle against the financial elites. Don't miss our next video, where we explore the surprise strategy that could change the bank system and here we now today.